Once I decided that since I'm on this YouTube thing that I'm an Apple sheep, it seemed right of me to find an Android phone so that I could get a hang of what Android's like, so I'm not completely arrogant when I'm comparing iOS to Android. So I bought that Blu Vivo 5. It's a great phone. It had high reviews. It came out earlier this year. And of course, it ran Android. So I got it. But since I got it, I made an unboxing video right here, and people have been torn about it. People saying I'm an idiot. People saying I should have got the Nexus phones or the LG G5. iPhones are stupid and they're for dummies. And you know, after all of what you guys said, I'm just starting to realize that, you know, I'm not a rich YouTuber like the other guys, and I can't afford to compare high-end phones next to each other. So I really shouldn't be calling myself a tech YouTuber. And today I'm gonna announce that I'm officially gonna stop making I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it. No, that's not, none of that's real. Sorry. First of all, these haters are completely divided. A huge chunk of them are saying you should have got the Nexus 5X, the Nexus 6P, the LG G5, the S7, whatever. Fill in the blank flagship phone. While the other half were saying, hey, the Vivo 5's great, I like it. People like the Vivo 5, it's way better than the iPhone. What are you talking about? So a bunch of people thinking the Vivo 5 doesn't matter, or the people that thinking it does. I don't know how to manage that. So I'm here to set the bar straight for all y'all. I did this with Windows 10 when for most of my life all I had used was a Mac. I wanted to know what owning a PC was like, so I got a gaming PC, used it for a year, and came up with a conclusion. Now I know how to use both. I hadn't done that with Android. So found a good affordable phone that lots of people loved that ran Android so that I could get the hang of it. And I used it for a while because I wanted to understand why people liked Android. Now I'm going to compare Android and iOS in a big documentary I'm working on. It's a big project, one of a kind for this channel. First of a kind, really. There could be more. Anyway, that comes later. But right now, a lot of the people on that video didn't seem to understand the difference between me comparing software and me comparing hardware. Those are two very different things. In other words, I'm an Apple sheep, so of course I think iOS is better, but that doesn't mean the Blu Vivo 5 is a bad phone. Vivo, Blu, that company has nothing to do with Android. They just manufacture the hardware that delivers Android to me. And they did a great job. It's a beautiful phone. It's got good specs. It's got good RAM, screen, fast charging, USB Type-C, a good speaker on it. Feels very premium. So keep in mind, when I got this phone, this was my Android experience, not my Nexus experience, not my LG G5 experience, not my S7 experience. Android is an extremely diverse operating system. So when we go ahead and say, no, you're not experiencing Android unless you buy this exact model, you're starting to sound a bit like an Apple sheep, right? Because you have to use the iPhone. You can't use anything else. Whoa, it just kind of turned that back on you, didn't it? No, the point is people really like the Vivo 5, and I did too. It's a great build quality. So it's safe to say that Android on there is an accurate representation of what it's like to use Android. And I'm not comparing the other features that it doesn't have. I wasn't docking it because it didn't have Touch ID or a great 4K camera or a quad HD display. I didn't care about all that because of course I'm a working college student, as I've said, which means I can't afford to buy flagship phones all the time. So again, if I'm not mentioning Android at all, the Vivo 5 is a great phone, and if you have to choose Android, choose Vivo 5 because it covers 90% of what most users need on their phone. It lacks in a few areas, but nothing major enough to make it not worth it. This is a $200 phone unlocked, people. That's an amazing deal for what you get out of it. It feels like a flagship phone. It's a great phone. That's why I bought it. If I really wanted to make Android look bad, I would have bought like an S3. That would have been cheaper, right? No, I bought an actual highly reviewed affordable phone. Now I have complaints about Android, but that'll come later. But I just want everyone to realize I'm reviewing software and comparing it with each other, not hardware. If I am, you'll know about it. I'll compare the LG G5 to the iPhone 7, whatever. But no, this is just an iOS versus Android thing, which is much more broad, and it's not a clear winner. Except for me, I know it's iOS. Yep, there's the dislike, just heard it. So anyway, when I make subtle jokes like that in my unboxing video, all the fan droids, as we like to call them, good name the rest of us, you came up with that, I think, cried out saying I'm biased and unfair. And you know, yeah, that's kind of the point with this channel. You see the background? Lots of them were not happy, but you know what surprised me? Dislikes on that video have never surpassed the amount of likes. The people who like it don't comment, which kind of means these iOS supporters are kind of maybe a bit more chill. I don't know. You can debate down there what you think that means. So tons of people weren't happy with me, but you know what? That does not matter. My channel, I know right now, is not just some blossoming giant channel. It's pretty small. We're under 1,000 subs right now. But for those who are returning, thank you. And you need to know something. Dislikes, negative comments, and making fun of me are never going to make me shift my opinion. I'm an Apple sheep, right? That's not supposed to be well liked on YouTube. YouTube's owned by Google anyway. The reason I wanted to be biased towards Apple on here is because I felt the bias towards Google. So I'm just providing the alternative, which means my goal here is not to be the most liked guy. I'm not gonna just say everything you want to hear. I'm gonna say what I believe is true. And all of you should know that. Just because someone is hating on you on any of your videos, you shouldn't just give in and give up if you truly believe you're still right. Don't let that get to you. Tons of tech YouTubers out there are just so afraid to say anything that could potentially offend someone. They have to go carefully through every single thing they say to make sure absolutely no one gets offended. And you know what? I'm done with all that fake talk. With Tailosive Tech, I have my opinion and you can disagree with it, and that's fine. Just don't expect me to back down, give in, change my mind, or silence myself because I got enough dislikes, mean comments, or enough people came up with mean names for me. You know, it all changed when I saw iPhones are for dummies. Wow, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, none of that's working. I'm here to stay. Oh, and by the way, I sent the Blu Vivo 5 back. I didn't feel like having two phones. It was kind of redundant. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.